Imagine you find like an old locked safe in the basement of a house you just bought. If you try to guess what is inside, you might think of gold bars or maybe dusty stacks of cash.
Right, which would be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But what if the definition of what that cash is actually worth changes every single second the clock ticks forward?
I mean, the physical number printed on those bills might stay the same, but the reality of their purchasing power is just entirely fluid. It is totally a moving target.
Right. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a recent ruling from Mexico's Federal Tribunal of Administrative Justice. And, well, a tax ruling published on April 30th, 2026 might sound a bit dry on the surface, but it actually solves this exact philosophical puzzle.
It really does. It answers how you actually tax a moving target.
Right. So, our mission today is to extract the core insights from this legal thesis. We want to understand how the law forces us to define value over time.
Because, it forces us to confront the fact that financial numbers are rarely as permanent as they look on paper.
Yeah, and to understand why this ruling even happened, we have to talk about what a company is actually worth at any given second. If you buy a vintage car, for example, its value isn't just the original sticker price.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right. It changes based on wear and tear or maybe engine upgrades over time. So how does that apply to a business? Like specifically what our source calls accounting capital.
Well, the source defines accounting capital pretty simply. It is a company's total wealth, which is basically its total assets minus its liabilities.
Okay, so that starts with just the initial money the partners put in, right?
Exactly. When a company first starts, that capital is just those initial contributions.
Hmm.
But the tribunal notes that with the passage of time, accounting capital is constantly modified.
Modified by like just doing business,
Yeah.
buying inventory, taking on debt, that sort of thing.
Yes, by transactions and both positive and negative events. So the value is sloshing around. But on
Yeah.
top of all those actual business transactions, you also have this slow erosion happening.
Like the currency itself losing value through inflation.
You hit the nail on the head. The core argument here is that this constantly shifting number reflects the true economic capacity and financial reality of the issuer.
So it is just a complete illusion to treat a company's value as this static, fixed thing.
Completely. Which
Yeah.
is why the legal system needed a mechanism to capture that reality accurately. Yeah, especially when people sell shares.
Okay, let's unpack this because this is where it gets real for you listening. If you want to deduct losses from selling shares under the 2013 income tax law, specifically Articles 32 and 215 here, how does the government ensure you aren't using outdated numbers? Like to cheat the system?
Well, what's fascinating here is how the legal system addressed that exact discrepancy. This ruling we are looking at, Thesis IX-P-SS-499, makes a definitive stance on this.
And this was resolved by a unanimous 9-vote plenary session in September 2025,
Yeah,
right?
it's a totally unanimous vote by the TFJA. It legally forces the valuation to adjust for the passage of time. Specifically, it states that the accounting capital must be updated using Article 17A of the Federal Tax Code.
Wow. So it acts like a financial time machine, basically.
That is a great way to put it. It legally forces you to drag the original historical value into the present day. It adjusts for, quote, changes in prices in the country.
Which is just a technical way of saying inflation, I assume.
Right, exactly. In short, it legally mandates an inflation adjustment to establish the true, current, real value of a share.
Wait, really? So you just literally cannot use the old numbers at all?
Nope, you cannot compare a historical investment to a present-day sale price without adjusting the foundation first.
So, I mean, if you bought a share for 100 pesos 10 years ago and sell it for 90 today, the law ensures the loss you claim is a real economic loss, not just a mathematical fiction.
Exactly. Because 100 pesos 10 years ago is not the same as 100 pesos today. The present reality is the only reality that matters in taxation.
So the big takeaway for you, our listener, is that this ruling ensures tax deductions for share losses are grounded in absolute present reality. It stops time and inflation from distorting the truth of a transaction.
It really proves that value is not a fixed point on a map. It demands constant calibration against the real world.
Which brings us right back to that locked safe in the basement. Value is always moving, and it leaves you with a final thought to mull over. If the legal system so rigidly demands that we adjust financial value for the passage of time to find absolute reality, well, what other areas of your personal or professional life are you still judging based on outdated, unadjusted metrics?